Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm with Ray Davis of Red Oak Capital Group. And Ray, you've got a unique answer to a lot of people's questions. It used to we used to get either money market funds with reasonable yields or two-year bonds with reasonable yields, and you've got a 2%, a two-year 6% fixed income product. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Kevin, first, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, to answer your question, we do. We have a 2-year, 6% bond, and it's a Regulation A plus, and it is secured and fully collateralized by income producing commercial real estate in the senior most position. So think of a senior loan on a $25 million commercial complex or apartment building. And of that $25 million loan, this bond actually represents the A piece of that senior loan. So this is the most secure product we have. It's called Red Oak Intermediate Income Fund. It pays 6%. Now, Kevin, it's fully liquid, meaning you can get out starting 90 days after you purchase. But if you get out, there's a 2% penalty, hence bringing your yield down to an effective 4%. And it's a great product. It's a general solicitation with a low minimum investment of $10,000. The interest payments are paid quarterly in the arrears, and on the 25th of the month preceding the quarter. So we have time to do a little bit of accounting work. It's a 1099 INT, of course, because it's a bond. And the fund is audited on an annual basis, reviewed on a semi-annual basis. And Kevin, you may not even know this. We do actually quarterly reporting, and we do monthly updates for our bond investors via what we call Red Oak Roundtable. So that's really the crux of the investment or of the bond. And it is a true bond. It's got an indenture agreement, not a debenture agreement. So it is backed. There's a trustee in place and a paying agent. And that's really it, Kevin. That's the introduction of the bond.
So, Ray, can you just talk about the proceeds, what they're used for? Maybe give us a picture, a bigger picture of the firm, Red Oak, and how that fits into the whole capital structure of the firm.
Yeah. So
of the investments.
Yeah, so the proceeds, so this bond has very low fees associated with it. There's actually only 75 basis points of fees associated with this particular bond product. But let me tell you a little bit about the company. So Red Oak Capital, we've been in business in what I would call the broker-dealer RA world or general solicitation world since 2015. The predecessor company was around for 30 years doing underwriting for banks and institutions and the like. We're staffed by an unbelievable management team, and they've primarily come, Kevin, from insurance company real estate portfolio management. So think of MetLife, New York Nightlife, Mass Mutual. So the folks running our operations, or we refer to that as the thesis side of our business, these are seasoned, diehard insurance professionals that have actually ran insurance portfolios, constructed them, serviced them, and even done workouts during some of the turbulent periods. And that those teams have had an average of 8 cycles underneath their belt. So they've been through the downturn, the S&L crisis. They're very young guys. I don't want to age them too much, but they're incredibly seasoned.
Yeah, sure.
Red Oak has
nothing wrong with somebody with white hair, right?
Yeah, or hair, right? So Red Oak as a manager, very seasoned group of professionals. We invest alongside our investors, not only in the company, but in our bonds directly. Did I answer the question, Kevin?
Yeah, but the 2-year structure is really part of the overall structure where you have a longer term fund that people can invest in. And if you just go into the types of loans that you're making, I think give people an idea of what the 2-year money is used for.
Yeah, so let me explain that, Kevin. That's a great point. So we have a series of what we call core bond funds, and there's 6 or 7 different funds out there that actually do our core lending. And so We lend in the small balance sheet space, so generally 15 million down to $1 million. But there's a couple things that make us unique. We're nationwide. We have institutional underwriting, and when I say institutional, as I said, our team's ex-insurance professionals.
Yep.
We've actually had our first, and we've got 2 more pending institutional purchases. So the institutions are actually co-investing with the retail investors, pro rata pari passu. So I think that's important. So what we do with this fund, Intermediate Income, is so we have those core funds, and they've got a little bit higher load because they're in the broker-dealer channel. So they've got higher fees associated with them, and sometimes a commission. So what we do with Intermediate Income, because it has no load associated with it, 75 basis points, we actually take the proceeds for Intermediate Income and we blend it with the proceeds from our core funds. And what that does is it lowers the cost basis of those funds, allowing us to go through the J curve more quickly and or enhance our yields.
Right. And the longer loans that you're making are for projects that have not a very long life, a reasonably short life. Is that right?
Sure. So I guess when you're thinking about our core lending platform, and I appreciate the question, so we're a bridge lender by nature. So think of 12 to 36 months. We're always solving for an acute need of cash, but we are not a hard money lender because we're doing full institutional underwriting. So think like we did an opportunistic purchase on the water in a major metropolitan city. And this particular sponsor was buying a $35 million property. He had $17 million cash, and he came to us for the other $17 million. And think about it this way, Kevin, he had to close in 30 days. There's not an institution in the country. There's not a bank in the country who can make that happen. So we came in a first position. He has $17 million of equity behind us. That property is already up for negotiations with 3 different buyers looking to purchase it for $80 million plus. So
but even if it was purchased for $30 million, the first position means you get your money back before he gets his money back.
100%. So you have to think of our core bond funds so he would lose his 17 million. And frankly, the ground that these buildings are sitting on are worth more than our loan, but he would lose his 17 million first. And we have gotten our money back first, even through COVID. But when you're thinking about this fund that we're talking about today, Intermediate Income, it is not even the 17 million. It's half of the 17 million. So literally the ground on fire, scorched and completely flattened is still worth more than what this fund is investing in. It's probably a 4-to-1 coverage.
Yeah, than what the 2-year fund is investing in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Ray, this has been very helpful. I think a lot of our clients have been looking for something that pays reasonable income and consistent income. As you know, we live in a yield-starved world, and the solution that you guys have come up with, I think, is a really interesting one for many of our clients. So I'm sure we're all going to be talking about your income fund as time comes on.
Yeah, and thank you, Kevin. And let me close by saying this. We've never missed a bond payment. We've never been late on a bond payment. We've never sent out a reduced bond payment, especially through COVID. I thought that'd be a great way to end the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, well, great. Well, Ray, thanks very much.
Thank you.